Alright, fam. Just want to go over this game real fast. I play. I'm going to try to do this very, very quickly. This is just to show the power of the bishops and what people who I play often or who run into me or see some of my videos, they play against these strengths because they know the power of the bishop, in actual play. Alright, so I'm not going to stay on too long. I'm going to try to get this done really, really quick. So, yeah, the ratings on here are kind of crazy. I'm never much higher than about 1730. You get about 1730. The competition 1800 and up is just ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, that's all I could tell you. These 5 minute games, I'm just a mediocre chess player. This gentleman here or the young lady is 1395. I don't know. When you're playing things, I'm playing here Sicilian. Even marginal, even players that aren't all that strong, mediocre players, study these openings, so they know lines and responses to certain themes. It's one of the first things they do when they start playing chess. So you'll see some of them play very, very strong games against the Sicilian and maybe against the French, or in the French or in the Sicilian or whatever, or even in some Queen Gambit Decline. So like myself, I usually just play that my diametrical, but I've been getting back into the Sicilian. I used to play the Sicilian in tournament. Did it often in tournament play at Sicilian and the King's Indian defense. So all right, so doing, and he's trying to get an advantage in development, which makes a lot of sense. And I fell into this casually, not wanting to end up losing this rook, or I didn't want to lose the rook or the bishop, and didn't take a lot of time to look at this, so I didn't realize I was walking into this. I saw hitting the two pieces with the pawn, but as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, okay, because this is what I want to make videos on along these lines. This is what I want to do, to show the power of the bishops, how important they are. Which is, you see, I didn't want this bishop jumping in here, taking my, this knight jumping in here, taking my bishop, because it's threatening them both. And it ended up, going for this. But I love these positions when I have an opportunity to do this. So you know what I'm doing to show the power of the bishop, because the bishop is worth 4.3. 4.3. The queen is worth 9. So I'm hitting the bishop. And now he can't jump in there and hit, because this is only worth 2.6. 4.3 and 4.6, the bishop and the rook worth that of each. I'm trying to say respectively. So yeah, this pawn at this point, this pawn is gonna fall. I can try to keep it, but it's not gonna work. And anyway, I'll be giving up the central, squares too easy. The knight, I'm underdeveloped. He gave up the pawn. He or she gave up the pawn to develop quickly, and did just that. Now, for me to try to save this pawn would cause me to give up control, or I won't even be contesting these squares at all with my only developed piece now. Because you see, this bishop is back on the first rank. I moved it far too many times, than you should in chess. So you don't count. If I don't count this, which is something that I can't reasonably defend, that means at this point, because this pawn is about to fall, white has 28. Well, let's go ahead and just, because I'm going to try to get set up to where I can get the pieces developed again and try to. Okay, it's gone now. So at this point, white has 28.8 points according to my formula and how I assign value to the pieces, and black has 28.4. So it's just a 0.4 difference in it's imbalanced, but it's basically an even game. So it's black's turn, and how do we proceed? Developing pieces. I want to get castle. He jumps in. I figure, okay, I'm giving up control right here. I got a couple of pieces defending this center square, and But how about I drive this back with tempo? And so I did just that, and that's the only. Other than that, I wouldn't have moved that knight at this point. He moved back. Oh, he or she. And then I brought the rook up to hold this because it's hanging. You know, but he's holding, the bishop's holding the knight, and the rook's holding the bishop. It's a precarious position, but we're even. He doesn't have a dark square bishop to attack this. So, you know, the queen can only do so much. The queen can't attack everybody, you know. All right, so, and this was something I welcomed, the attack on here. You know, this is wonderful to me. I have no problem with it. And I know that I'm going to castle anyway, because if he hits it with the knight trying to get a pawn, I'm going to hit back. And if he hits with the queen, I'm going to check. And so they'll get a pawn and both my bishops for the queen, and which will leave them down. I'll have a knight to their pawn. See, because they'll have six pawns to my 5 pawns, and I'll have 2 knights to their 1 knight. So that's why I had no problem with this. I went ahead and castled out of that because I'm not worried about that at this point. So we go into it. He takes the pawn with the knight, and I'm hitting the queen now. And it's like no problem, you know. I'm gonna go ahead and so now he's taking a pawn and a bishop for a rook and a knight. So if I take back the queen, he's gonna take the rook, and if I take back the rook, he's gonna take the knight. And this way he'll be up, he or she'll be up a couple of tenths of a point, but it'll be a better position for them because I don't have the bishop here anymore. You know, I have a bishop and a knight. So I have, so I have a rook against a rook. I have a knight against a knight. And then I have this bishop and this rook against this queen, which they're together worth 8.9, and this is worth 9.0. And but they have 6 pawns to my 5 pawns, and this is just better. That's just better because the bishop pair is the strength in this. All right, so he snapped off the bishop. He or she snapped off the bishop, so I'm taking the queen, and I'll just play it from here. And instead of taking a pawn here and having me hit both rooks, which I don't know, probably the better move because I don't know. You get that bishop off the board and have, well, with just the position, and you see the position regardless, is that the 2 rooks and the knight against the rook, with the 3 pieces, you know. So I got a bishop and a knight against this rook, and he's a pawn up. So I like this position. I like my position. The point of this video was to show that the people that I play, they recognize the power of the pieces, and that's why they were so willing to give up their queen in an exchange to get back to something that they felt was playable, you know, more advantageous. Now, mind you, neither one of us are great players, but you know, you're playing these blitz game online, you make quick snap decisions, and both of us clearly know how to play chess. All right, so just run through quickly. Just a blunder, you know, unless they thought he's not going to give up his bishop. I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah, I get a bishop up because now I have 2 rooks, 2 knights to the 1 knight, and you have the 6 pawns to my 5 pawns, which is not overwhelming, but it's enough. But then now it starts to look like this person can't play that you know, like a poor player, because you just dropping, and it makes no sense to just drop pawns like that, because now, you know, you're losing now, you know, you're just losing, you know. And you know, it's because you can't, because with all the pawns off, a rook, if white had a rook and a knight, or just a rook, and black had a rook and a knight, you know, with all the pawns off, you can't win that game. You know, that's a draw. So white may have been considering that as saying, hey, well, let me knock off as many pawns I can, thread maiden, or end up with the stalemate with the 2 pawns, against 2 pawns, try to knock off, I don't know. So, but you see how it ended up. And now we make a big bad move there. We're in trouble now. And that's pretty much all she wrote right there. Alright, so I just wanted to run through that. The point was the power of those bishops, and people can say if they want to. I put together the formula, and I don't think it can be argued with. I don't think it can be refuted. And when you're actually playing the game, things change a little bit. You can say what you want to say about the knight can do this, or the bishop can't do that, or the rook can't do this. In practical play, those 2 bishops are worth a queen. Okay, those 2 bishops. If you can get a queen, if you can get 2 bishops, trade 2 bishops for a queen and a pawn, and so the person who gives up the 2 bishops, if they can have a 1 pawn advantage, they actually are winning the game from that point. All right, this went way longer than I wanted to. Bad bishop. I'm out.